Good morning, Shoes.
Good morning.
We are from the Literary Debate and Press Club. This we came for an interactive section on the topic reading culture versus viewing culture. So we'd like to know your view on the reading culture and viewing culture.
Could you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Daniela Su.
Wells. Okay. Well, thank you for counting me ready to do this business with you. I'm sure you will have every confidence that you get a good audience from me. Okay, on the topic of reading culture versus viewing culture, I would like us to first look at what the meaning of culture is. When we say culture, what do we mean? What do you understand by culture?
As a way of life,
Good.
The same thing, popular definition of culture, the way of life.
Okay. And also, culture is habit. It's a habit. It's a way of life. It's also a habit. And there are different kinds of culture. Sociologists look at culture differently from people's background, the way they live. And anthropologists, those who dig up, they find out about people's culture from what they have excavated, like the era of the dinosaurs. But in this context, culture is in the context of students, we'll be looking at culture as a habit, not a way of life, but a habit. And now we are comparing reading culture and viewing culture. So why I say we use habit instead of a way of life, because way of life takes you into what you do at home, what you do when you go to church, what you do when you go on holidays. But now I want to restrict it to habits. Because when you have formed that habit, you can now take it to other things, other places. So viewing habit, that will take a student to mobile phone, WhatsApp, to take you to adverts, to take you to games, to take you to TV shows. These are some of the things that students view, isn't it? Now what does a student get from games, viewing games? It's leisure. What do you gain from TV adverts? It's entertainment and leisure. What do you gain from WhatsApp? It's interacting with your friends, messages, family. What do you get from other things you view? What do you get from it in terms of your life as a student? I want you to tell me. I'm talking about viewing culture now. A habit, to form a habit of wanting to view things all the time. I want to know what you will gain as a student from viewing rather than taking your time to read it.
most of the times when I watch some TV shows, I get like information about the earth and its formations and scientific discoveries. I know more about. I know from TV shows. I know how to relate and interact with people.
Good.
The viewing culture, most of the times when I watch things, it's for the entertainment of it. That's why I watch it. Then for sometimes to be the knowledge I can get from it, like just as I said, science
this is very good and will help you in your way of life or in the future. But presently, as a student, let's look at reading culture. If you form a habit of always reading, I personally think that reading all the time will improve your spelling and therefore give you an edge in your spelling test, in your written comprehension, in communicating in the classroom, if you form a habit of reading all the time. It will also help you in writing, because a great reader is a great writer. And in your exams, while you're in school, reading and writing mean a lot to you. Because I was talking to your senior English mistress. She was telling me that some of the problems she has with students scoring C's instead of A's and B's is from comprehension and continuous writing. Dotting the T's, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Some of you don't pay attention to it. But you will get more of that if you are consistently reading good novels, textbooks. You won't get that when you're viewing. You see? So, viewing culture versus reading culture. Reading culture here has an advantage over viewing culture for you, because you are students. Maybe when you become parents, when you become professionals, and you don't need to pass exams, which you can do if you have good spelling, have good comprehension, have good understanding of your literature text. The I is adopted, the T's are crossed. But when you view, it is not so. So the TV shows you watch, the WhatsApp, the Instagram, they will not improve your vocabulary. Yes, you will hear them speak. Some of them use pidgin English, some of the things you watch. But you will not read pidgin English, you will read the real, is it Oxford English, the English that will help you in your exams. So reading habit improves your vocabulary. Do you agree with me? It improves your vocabulary, it improves your spelling, it improves your lexis and structure. Lexis and structure is how you compose your sentences. What?
How you are able to construct.
Yes. So now, can you give me some examples of how you can gain as a student through a good habit of reading?
The reading culture will help us as students in our academic pursuits. Help us our grades go up instead of viewing culture. The reading culture has a very good advantage on every student.
Like the spelling?
Yes. Just as I said, spelling will help with your structure and lexis and
Build your
reading.
vocabulary.
Yes, to build your vocabulary, and it will help you know words that your peers that within your peers they are not even meant to know, but the reading culture will help you know it and know the meaning and how to use it, and to really boost your vocabulary.
Reading culture is very important to every student, especially it helps us a lot. Like when we read, we know things. We're able to help us in our spellings, help us in construction of good sentences. Because spelling is very important. Because if you don't know the spelling of a particular, we may not know the meaning of it. So it helps us very well. Because the more we read, the more knowledge we gain. Because reading is very important. everyone.
Okay. So now we need to conclude so that you go away with something concrete. If you have a good habit of reading and hold on to it, you have a lot of positives as a student. And you have enumerated some of them, and I have highlighted some of them. If you prefer viewing, there are a lot of negatives, because the things that are out there in the social media, because viewing is all about, mostly about social media. The things you see, some graphic pictures, someone is being murdered and they show it. Some ladies are not well dressed and they show it. I don't even want to go to pornography. You can't read pornography, but you can view it. And if by mistake you press on the wrong button, it will just come up. You may not want to see it, but it will pop up and you will see it, and it's not good for you. So we'll have to conclude that as students, the habit of reading will pay you more than the habit of viewing. Does not mean that you will erase viewing completely from your way of life. You can view occasionally, but more of reading. I don't know if you agree with what I have said. Any other thing to
Yes,
discuss?
I have questions. So we'll start with the smart class. The smart class that will soon be introduced, will you best like it as a part of viewing culture?
No, it's not about viewing. The smart classroom, I was told by the head of ICT, Mr. Kadri, is about posting your homework, posting your notes, posting your homework, posting your notes on online. I may be mistaken, but that's what he told me. It's not about viewing social media items. It's about your schoolwork. Instead of you copying notes all the time in the classroom and spending time, you can listen to your teacher, grasp the context and the information, and then when you go home, you can open the smart classroom and post your homework, read further notes, and other things about your learning. So it's not viewing.
Secondly, how can you support or inspire the berries to cultivate the reading culture?
Well, we have a library, though small. A lot of the berries who have the habit have been borrowing books. I have a berry who is in year 1, only 6 years, and every Friday he borrows books and comes home and takes it back on Monday morning. Those who want to borrow are borrowing. So I think we will introduce it in all the classes by the teachers, encouraging them on the Monday or on the Friday to borrow books from the library and to return them. And then maybe at PTA meetings we talk to parents to make sure that they don't overlabor their berries at home with housework, give them enough time to read their books and supervise them. That's the way to encourage them.
So the reading culture should not only be limited on reading textbooks for academic purposes.
No, you read anything. When you are traveling with your parents, you read. When your parents want to give you presents at your birthdays, they buy you books. Even in the toilet, you can read. In the aircraft, yeah. Miss June, when she was growing up, most of her reading time is in the toilet. When she's in the toilet, she goes in with her books. So you can read anywhere, holidays, school time, before you go to bed, at any time you have to read. It mustn't be your classwork or your textbook. You read especially fiction or non-fiction. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time
You're
and
welcome.
for the answers to our questions. And on behalf of the Literary Debate and Press Club, we say thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.